She didn't blow it off. Seen it, so. Oh, there she is. Uh-oh. Come on.
Turn your Bluetooth off.
Oh, there it is. I think. There we go. The hair looks good. Okay. She's muted. And no camera.
Yeah, I'll go back and set up.
I want to make burrito.
Okay.
I want to see like how expensive that piece of meat is when you do it.
Oh, you look absolutely wonderful this morning.
Yeah, I just got out of the gym. And I wear my winter hat. 1 second here.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you should,
I
if
got
you're gonna
sweaty.
have all that shit standing up, you should color it different colors.
Second here. Oh, that's going on. All right. I'm just trying to get. I want to get this on my earbuds real quick.
All right, I'm taking mine out because they're for my phone. Oh. I just finished getting my ass chewed by Tina for half an hour.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Between the two of you, you're kidding? I could at least lose weight if I'm going to be in this kind of pain.
Listen, I tried to get you to, but you keep skipping your workouts. You gotta stop doing that.
You're absolutely right. I gotta quit letting people who mean nothing rent space in my head and not pay rent. But you would not believe the private messages I have gotten.
I bet.
Oh, if he's stupid enough to show up at CAC,
I don't know that I don't think he has the money because he's still got people looking to get their money back.
oh yeah, I've got promoters that have ordered. Now listen to this. I've got promoters that have ordered my book, Judy's book, and Abby's book. He has no right to sell my book.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that book's even I haven't seen John Prosper advertise your book. I looked through his whole feed I can't even tell you, I couldn't even find it.
Well, he posted a link to it last night.
Well, yeah, then I looked 2 days ago, but
right, and I've got to talk to him about that, and find out what's going on, why it can't be looked up on Facebook. And I meant to do it when I was talking to him, but this was right in the middle of all this mess, figuring out Scotty was a carny and all of that, and that just slipped my mind.
yeah. John Prosper, a nice guy.
Well, I didn't have to put one dime up front for him to write the book, and I get the books at $6 a copy. And I sell them like if I'm at a show like we're going to be at with CAC, I sell them there for $25 autographed, but if I'm mailing them to someone, I sell them for $35.
Mm-hmm.
And I pay $6. So yeah, I think he treated me well.
Yeah. I just don't think he put any effort into the book. Like, I know you say he wrote it, but I've read almost 60 pages, and it seems like you wrote all of it, and he didn't edit any of it.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Well, that's that's what I see so far. I mean, because there's clear like spelling errors and things like that, and like just easy stuff that Like, like I've told you this before though, but like,
Well, and I sent him a file with the first 70 pages
yeah,
that I
yeah,
had written, and you'll know when. But you said everything you've written so far comes from my point of view, like it's me. Um,
that's the way I see it.
right.
And so I don't know, and I mean I'll have to do the word count, but I think like when you say 70 pages, what program did you do it in?
Word.
Okay, so like a page on Word is different than a page in one of those books. Like, a page on Word, you sent them 70 pages and it's 500 words. That's 3 pages in his,
Oh,
yeah.
see, I don't know anything about this part of the business,
Well, if
and
you
I'll
look
be the
up,
first one
yeah.
to admit.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at that page, and look, just take your book, okay, and
Well,
go into your Word file on your computer
right.
and look at the last sentence that is on the first page, and then look at where it ends on that page in Word for you.
Well, and I also did it in 16 point. I didn't do it in anything larger, but I couldn't do it smaller because I can't see it. So
Yeah, I'm doing everything in 12 point, and then 14 point for titles. But the whole thing here is so let's say you were at 500 words a page or whatever, and that's 2 to 3 pages, right? And you get sent them 70, right? Let's split the difference, 7, 14, 21. Let's say 170 pages. That's the whole book.
that's fun. Yeah, because I counted 26 pages, and and this is my fault. I should have been on top of it better. I told him I didn't want that 26 pages of pictures because I didn't want it to be like every other wrestling book that's been written.
Yeah,
You get a little bit of oat and then a whole lot of milk.
yeah, yeah.
And he did exactly what I asked him not to do. But I've looked at his other books and that's what he does.
Well,
But
so that's the other thing is I'm gonna put some pictures, but I'm spreading them throughout the book,
right.
like where they belong. So like when we talk about Richard Leotis, I'm gonna put Richard Leotis's booking for. I already did it. I'm putting him in the files now. I put
Yeah,
that.
you told me that.
I put it right in the chapter so you can see. We're talking about Richard Leotis. Here's a picture of him. You know what I mean? And so that way it's not. It's not like, oh, go to the middle and you see all these pictures all together, and they're just little pictures. They're not gonna be like full page pictures. It's like across the
Well,
screen.
this was full page pictures. I'm sure you looked at them. They're all
I did.
full. Yeah, 26 pages, front and back. Also, I think I found Judy a ticket to Vegas round trip. It's going to be, I think, 332, and that includes a checked bag each way. And she's only got one layover on each side, and that's 40 minutes for one and 45 for the other. So she's not going to be stuck in an airport for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I've got to talk to her first before I book it because I've got it up on my laptop ready to book, but I got to talk to her before I do it.
All right. I'll send you some whatever tomorrow. I'll send you some.
Don't worry about it.
Well, I told you I'd help you. So.
Well, I mean, I found it. The cheapest she could find was like $5.85, but
Yeah.
I tend to dig a little deeper.
You did say though. You said you were gonna wait till Tuesday because you said the best deals are on Tuesday.
Right, but the flight is $237, and then maybe it's
Oh, with the bags we're talking.
then you add the bags, and it's $40 each way for the checked bag. That's why I've got to talk to her. Are you going to have a carry-on bag, or are you going to have a checked bag?
Yeah.
So I got to talk to her first before I book it.
Well, that I mean, like I said, I mean, if you need me to, like, I put some stuff aside. So if you need it, I have it. I mean, we can also count that as towards our fee or whatever for signing the prints or whatever, you know. So
Right.
we can.
Well, and she's got what I'm trying to do. She's already paid for the motel
Yeah.
from the 16th to the morning of the 21st. And I'm going to share the room with her. So I'm looking at, I'm going to buy the flight, and then she's already paid for the room. I was going to give her $100 for the room, but I'm paying for the flight. So I'm going to just let her ride with the motel,
Mm.
because I still have to book myself a flight from Vegas back to OKC, because he sent me a flight and I have already checked on it to make sure it's still there, because I trust no one right now. And it's still there. He hasn't tried to get his money back. So
No, he said he wasn't going to do that. But you know, what he says and what he does are two different things. But
well, yeah, exactly. I mean, if he says the sky is blue, I'm going to look up.
yeah.
I just feel so foolish.
You can't let it manifest itself with drinking and you know what I mean. It's all well and good, like, you know, you're an adult, you can do what you want. But what my concern really comes is, like, you're already, like, you have to take your pain medications and your daily medications and like muscle relaxers and stuff. I mean, like, and alcohol. That's where I get concerned. Like, and then what if you forget? Oh, like, I take this, and then you take another one on accident because you just. You know what I mean? I just don't need something to happen. That's where I get real nervous. Oh shit!
Look, you see what I'm holding in my hand?
No, you gotta pick it up a little bit. Yeah,
Is that
yeah. I
that's
see
how
that.
I know if I've taken my pills.
Well, that's good. That makes me feel a little bit
Because
better.
I was forgetting, and if I take too much of the what's it
Flexerol.
called? No, it's not even that. It's not the amitriptyline. Naltrexone. If
Mm,
I take over the 4.5 milligrams that they have uh, given me, I start, and that's why I started doing my pills like that, was because I would forget, did I take my pills tonight? And I would get really dizzy and off balance and all of that.
yeah, that's what I get concerned about. I just don't. I don't need anything to happen. That's the thing. And
No,
when it's over 24 hours, then I really get concerned. You know what I mean? Like that's
well,
the
and
thing.
and Tina was concerned too, and with her anxiety issues, she does not need to be concerned about me, and neither do you. You got your family to take care of in a business. And like I said, I'm just not used to people worrying about me.
I
I've
don't
been
need
doing
something to happen
things
here.
by myself on my own since 2008.
I know, but then you gotta think those are the exact type of people that oh, we didn't hear from them, and then they find them 7 days later deteriorating in their house because nobody checked on them. So, all right, that's the problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's the issue. That's why. That's why. But I did let her make the wellness check call. I'm like, at least she can blame you and she won't be mad at me about it. And she was like, oh, thanks. I'm like, yeah, no problem.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at either one of you. I'm more mad at myself for putting you both in that position.
Well, the police officer said that you sounded annoyed. He said she told me to tell them I'm fine. Yeah, she asked, did they call a wellness check on me again?
I think I probably did say that because I was out cold in the bed, and then I hear this police knock at my door. And I knew before I answered the door because she said, Sheriff's Department. And I went, all right, which one? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Was it Tom or was it Tina?
Well, yeah, well, it was gonna be Tina. I was at a birthday party last night, but I was like, at the same time, she was like, "Oh, you think I should do?" I'm like, if it hits 24 hours and we don't hear from her, like that's strange because you're usually 18 hours, okay. I'm like, but usually, and you were on the right, you were at the right time to go to, you were going to bed at like 10 p.m. the night before, so I was like, all right, she'll get up. You didn't, so that's why
I didn't
was
get up. No, and that's another reason I feel stupid is because I let this get to me like it has. And it's, I mean, I've had what's his name? Herb Simmons has contacted me. Michael Lewis, blah 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 blah. All these people who were backing up Abby and Queenie have contacted me.
Yeah.
And they want information about what's happened and all that. I said it's too much to explain in a text. But I did talk to Herb Simmons on the phone.
Yeah, I know you did that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to talk to him because if he knows who I am and he's heard a version of the story, I would like to let him know. Like, listen, I did everything I could to try and keep all the relationships here. And like I forgot until we talked this morning that I actually paid for Michael Lacey to get his refund. You know what I mean? Just because I knew how much they cared about him in particular, and she was like, "Oh, he doesn't have the money. He needs to pay medical bills." And I'm like, "All right." So I gave it to Scotty. I said, "You know what? You give him his refund now." You know what I mean?
And Scotty never gave him his money, did he?
No, he did right away. He did.
Oh,
That's one thing he did, though. He did. And then,
yeah, but he never gave Velvet the money you sent him.
I told him to keep it. It's because he texted me the next day. He was like, "Okay, so are you this and this?" I'm like, "You know what? Just keep it." I go, "If you're supposed to send it this many days ago, and if you need $50 that bad, then you just keep it." You know what I mean? But then I'm sitting here remembering I gave him 110 for refunds because I gave him $110 so he could start doing refunds. And that was part of the Michael Lacey money. I gave him $50 for his lifetime newsletter.
I can't wait to see the disaster on that one.
Yeah, and then I gave him $100, $110 or whatever this past thing for the Velvet and the 50 to. So I've given him about $250.
Well,
you think about how many people he's gotten that from.
Well, and then you showed me that GoFundMe page.
That's old, okay? But I just did a random search on his name.
Right.
So that was something he tried to do. He tried to do a while ago, a GoFundMe to write his biography. And people donated to it.
$164.
Yeah.
5 people. Yes,
yeah.
I paid attention. It was 5 people and they donated $164.
I was like, he was a lot skinnier back then, so that's how you know it was a long time ago. So
that's true too.
Let's get this going. All right, so the next chapter I am writing is called End of Innocence. Okay, so that's going to be about the first time that as you say, there was penetration.
Right.
So you told me that your mother was at work. Now, 2 questions on this. At one point, you told me she was like a some operator, and she was making good money. I forget what exactly you called it.
When she was pregnant with me,
Yeah.
In 1960, she was working for Crown Zellerback,
Mm-hmm.
the paper company.
Mm-hmm.
And the day she found out she was pregnant with me, she, now this is according to my grandmother, and so far I haven't caught the old bat in a lie. She loves it when I call her that. I used to call her up and say, "Hey, how you doing, you old bat?" And
Mm-hmm.
she'd giggle like a school child.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but Sylvia was working as a key punch operator,
That's what it
which
was.
is,
Yeah.
yeah, which is basically a computer programmer now,
Mm-hmm.
is what I understand it to be. You might want to look up the definition yourself.
I'll look it
But
up.
when she was pregnant with me, found out she was pregnant with me, she quit Crown Zellerback and went on welfare. And proceeded to have 6 different kids, including me. And now I know by 6 different fathers. And she stayed on welfare the whole time up until I believe when Jennifer turned 18, because her last money child was gone.
Okay, so this is where there was another inconsistency I found.
Okay.
When I interviewed you, when you talked about this happening, you said that your mother was at work the first time that your father or your stepfather parts raped
Right.
her.
And she did work under the table a lot.
Okay, so what was she doing? Do you know at that point, or what would she do under the table? What was like
I
you don't know for sure,
I don't I can't honestly answer that question. I
but
don't know.
you do know she just wasn't at the house and she was at
It,
work. So
I mean, she could have been playing bingo for all I know. That was her out thing,
hmm
and that's when Bill took all his liberties because he knew she was, and this is coming from my head, not his. I believe it's because he knew she was going to leave the house at a certain time and she was not going to get back to the house before a certain time.
hmm
And after that happened, that same day is when I told you I ran into the field and curled up.
yeah, we'll get to
And
that.
yeah,
Okay, so
um,
let's start. So we're setting the table. Your mother's at work, okay? So where are you when he comes to get you, and where does he bring you to do this? Like, do you remember
I
what you
can't,
were doing, or?
that part I cannot honestly say.
Hmm
I can tell you that we went, this house, as I recall, was 2 stories. My bedroom was the top left hand bedroom, and it was the type with, it was like what they call a widow's walk back in
This
the day.
this slanted ceilings there.
Yes.
Hmm
And um I don't remember how I got downstairs or even into this room, and this room was not a living room. It was like not a completely glassed in back porch, but it was a back room where the door went, the couch that he had me on was this way. And if you went straight down the couch, that was the door. And he had me on this couch and he was being nice, which didn't normally happen with him.
So how was he being nice? Like when you say he's being nice, what was
He
nice
was just
to?
talking to me and rubbing my leg and things like that. And then all of a sudden, he had me he had me stand up and take off my panties. And he sat me down on the couch and started getting physical in my nether regions. And then all of a sudden, I felt like somebody stabbed me in that area. And that was the first penetration that
But-
I recall.
So how does he segue from no, okay, so like in the book, like you had said, you were like 3 or 4, but we know now that you're, I mean, because
Probably
obviously
5 or 6.
6, yeah, and so do you remember if Jennifer was obviously born at this time, or Scott? No, Jennifer's the last one. It would have been Scott. What's it?
Scott was not there yet.
Okay,
Doug, Jamie, and me. Scott was not born yet. That I recall. I could be wrong, but
Doug, Jamie, and you. All right.
yeah.
Okay, so your mother could have
And
been
see, he hadn't
pregnant.
started in on the boys yet.
Yeah. Where were the
I was
boys when
his,
this was happening? Do you
yeah,
remember?
I was his prime focus.
Do you know where the boys were? Were they out like outside playing, or what were they doing when this was going on?
Now see, Linda, one of Sylvia's cousins, we lived in the country. Like I said, there was this big field out behind the house.
Mm-hmm.
And Linda, and I believe his name was Clyde,
Mm-hmm.
her and her husband and their 2 kids lived across the street.
Mm-hmm.
So the boys could have been over there because that's how it worked. We always went over to Aunt Linda's because we got all these cool treats and got fed. That much I do remember.
So our Linda wasn't really your aunt. That's just like a southern hospitality aunt type of thing, right?
Yeah,
Like
yes,
Tina's your niece and you're her aunt.
right, exactly. And
So I was telling Tina, I was like, it's like Greeks. They all call each other cousins, but they're just from the same island.
right,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. But I remember the couch like it was yesterday. It was one of those old woven couches that were all a wood frame with cushions on it back and front. I can see the sun coming in the back window and the door. I can see the dust in the air. And then, like I said, there was pain. I thought I was going to die. That was the first time I ever thought I was going to die because the pain was so horrendous.
Now, how does he segue? Like, do you remember how he told you to take your pen? Why you did it? Was like, did he just say take him off, or like, how does that happen?
We were sitting on the couch and he was being nice.
Mm-hmm.
He had his arm around me, was just, rubbing me here. He wasn't in that area yet. And then he told me to stand up and he said, take off your panties. And I did that. And then he sat me down and he started massaging. And then all of a sudden, like I said, it just felt like somebody stabbed me.
So he laid you down, or was the penetration with his hands?
No, I was actually sitting up when it happened, right beside him.
So it wasn't. Or so was this?
It was with his fingers,
with his fingers?
not with his genitals.
Okay, because I think that isn't clear in your first recount of this. So
Right.
that's good. That's good. All right. So this was he fingered you.
Yes.
All right. Now, after this is all done, what happens?
He goes somewhere. I don't know where he goes, but I go out the back door and it hadn't quite got dark yet. But I remember laying down in the middle of this field, and this field, what they call, do you remember those pink prickly flowers or purple that they used to call bumblebee flowers?
Let's look it up. I like details like that.
And then of course there was, and this I can remember, the grass was close to dead. And
Is it lavender, honeysuckle, some of those always ones you see here. Bumblebee, flowers.
and the color is lavender, as a matter of fact.
So, do you think it was lavender?
I
So-
don't think it was the lavender plant. It was the color of lavender, and the bumblebees used to love it. That much I remember.
Okay, so the prickly flowers, bumblebee color, lavender color. Prickly, let me just see. Flowers, lavender. Let's see. 50 plants. Oh, I think, what is this? This spiky
All right,
flowers.
let's get rid of this.
Just let me give you a couple names here, but there's only 2 that look like they're popping up. This 50 plants with the business. Let's see. What you see here? This goddamn thing. I just like details
That's
like this.
not it. Hang on.
What is
All
this?
right, wait a minute. Is
There-
this it?
were they tall flowers? I can't get a name off these goddamn things. Prickly flowers. Where is it? That's not the
Not
one.
those.
They had like pricks on them though.
Yeah, what you would consider leaves were all these little sharp things that stood up. Uh,
Sending this to your phone. Take a look at this image. I'll figure it out later. Or then there's this one.
that's them. That's them. You got them. But you see where the center is, where it looks like a cactus.
Yeah.
Those also grow into the flower.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. I'll figure that out later. All right, cool. And so the field was kind of like filled with these. So I'm thinking like, get this picture of like, you remember the scene where Dorothy's running through the field with the flowers, but so you're running through the field with these prickly flowers, and it's still dusk at this point.
It's dusk at that time, and I found a place to lay down, and I curled up, and I just laid there. I didn't, 4 or 5 years, even if I was 5 or 6, I didn't know where I was going or what to do. And then after dark, I woke up and I heard Sylvia screaming my name, and I heard Linda, and I heard Clyde, but I didn't hear Bill. And I sat there and listened to it. I can't tell you how long it was. It could have been a minute, it could have been 5 minutes. But once I figured out that I didn't hear his name is when I stood up in the field, and Sylvia used to wear this makeup. And it was the cream blue makeup, and then heavily darkened eyelashes, and oh shoot, what do they call it? She'd use an eyebrow pencil to lace her eyes, and she was crying, and I could see it was really weird that I would remember this, but she was crying black tears because of the makeup. Yeah. And she carried me inside crying, "Oh, my baby," blah, blah, blah. And then we were in the kitchen, and Bill was at work. He was working a graveyard shift then.
He was just a factory laborer, correct?
Huh?
Basically. He was just a laborer at factories and mills, correct? That's what he did.
Right. He was mostly a mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember him spending money on like an old Hudson. I think it was a 56 Hudson. Anyway, it was an old Hudson. And he was buying these cars, going to fix them up, and then never got around to fixing them up.
Mm-hmm.
Money we could have used on other things. So mostly I remember him as a mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now there's towns that he worked in, like Pomona, that where we lived, where the Black Panthers, you know, took us to after she had testified against the mafia when Bill got busted for rustling cattle.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what he was doing at that time. I know he was working during the day, but I don't know what he was working at. But when she started questioning me about why I ran away and I told her, she 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 bitch slapped me across the room and called me a liar, told me to go up to my room, and I'll send your dad up there to straighten you out when he gets home. And I literally cried myself to sleep, praying to die. I mean, to be perfectly honest, it didn't scare me to die, it scared me to live.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing I remember is, now I've got okay long hair now, but then I had hair down to my waist, black hair. And I remember waking up and he had me like this with one fist on one side of my head and one fist on the other, holding me down by my hair. And he said, "I told you they'd never believe you." And I remember it like it was yesterday.
So then, after he was done fingering you, obviously, he said that to you.
Well, after they found me that night.
But no, no, no. What I'm saying is because he's telling you that he had told you they'd
Yes,
never
I do
believe it.
remember he had
So when did he say that? Was that immediately after he had done that in the screen room, or was that some other time before this?
You know what? I'm going to have to think about it because I can't remember it. I do remember him telling me that no one would ever believe me. As to where that was, when that was, right now I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember it. But I remember his exact words that morning. "I told you they'd never believe you."
Mm-hmm. And then he said
And
something about something else. I forgot what he told you. Oh, if you ever tell anybody else, I'll kill. If you ever do it again, I'll kill you, or something. What was the exact words he
oh
said to
yeah,
you?
that was his famous warning to all us kids. Um and he threatened my mother's life too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in this. Don't I don't remember exactly when, but I can tell you it did happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because and I after that day, I had I had told people, I told Sylvia, me and my brothers told Sylvia this was going on. The boys were with me 3 times that I told her, including the one, not including the one the night I ran away. And she would browbeat the boys until they would say, "Okay, you're right, Mom, it didn't happen, we're lying."
Mm-hmm.
Because that's not something she wanted to believe, because if she had to believe it, that would mean she had to get rid of Bill or she had to get rid of us, one of the two.
Now, so did he say, so he said, what were just in your words, because I don't want to put them in mine. He
Right.
said, I told you nobody would believe you. And then he said, what? Because I know you.
I told you they'd never believe you. You know what? I can't remember. Right now, I can't remember.
I'll look at your book and I'll fill that in.
It was probably something about, and the next time you tell, I'll kill you or I'll kill your mother, something to that effect. I can't tell you exactly what right now. If
And
I
then,
do remember it, I will write it down so I can tell you.
and then after that, he said, told you to get ready to come down for
Here,
breakfast.
yes, yes, he
Yes.
did say that.
So what
Get
did he
up,
say?
get ready, come down for breakfast. And I'm sitting there, you
Do you
know,
remember what you guys had for breakfast that morning? These are just little details I like throwing in if they're available.
no, I understand. Um, no, I can't remember what we had for breakfast. I want to say pancakes,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not sure. Because Sylvia was a lousy cook. She thought spaghetti was spaghetti noodles cooked in a pot, and then you pour a big can of whole tomatoes on top of it. That was spaghetti.
Well, at least you tried. So now when does it turn into full on sex? When does that happen? Does that happen on the fishing trips? Is that when?
That happened. That happened on. I went with him by myself on a fishing trip. And
Mhm.
then, of course, all the other kids wanted to go because I was special. And that's when it turned into a full onslaught of his daughter, Diana, me, and Jamie. And that was probably one of the most horrifying nights I've ever spent in my life. Um,
Story.
I
So
mean,
he took you on a fishing trip. Do you remember what you guys used to fish for? Was it like bass? What did you guys fish for? Pike? What was it?
no, it was bass and catfish. I
Was in the
remember
Horse Thief Lake.
he caught, no, it wasn't at Horse Thief Lake. This was somewhere else.
People fish
He
for at
brought
Horse Thief Lake.
home he brought home a catfish, and I'm talking huge. Its tail was at one end of the tub and its head was at the other. After we been on one of his fishing trips, and he knew how much of an animal lover I was and still am. And he handed me a hammer and told me, you hit him right here and kill him. Well, I'm 5, 6, 7 years old, and I'm trying to do what he's trying to tell me, because if I don't do it, I know I'm going to catch an ass whooping. And I was in there and I kept hitting this poor catfish, and I was crying because it wouldn't die. All he had to do, I know this now, was take it outside, put it on a post, run a nail right here through to the post, and the catfish was dead. But he was, in my opinion, enjoying the fact that I was crying and upset because I was hitting this catfish with a hammer. But like I said, it was either kill the catfish or get my ass whooped. And that was about the same time that he started in on the boys. And that was in Needles, California.
Fishing trip. And it pretty much just goes the same way as all the other fishing trips. Like, how does it go? Did you guys actually fish first, or does he do? Does he?
It was he would send, like, he'd send me out to the pier with a camp
Siblings.
light
Yeah.
to draw the minnows in and have me, dipping bait, which I know now is highly illegal. And he'd be with one of the other kids in the car. You just went totally silent.
Can you hear
Can't
me
hear
now?
you. There you go.
Okay. I hit my thing. All right. So
You're silent again.
can you hear me now?
Yep. Nope, can't hear you now.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened. All right, I had to take these. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you well.
All right. So you told me about the separation on the trip with your siblings, but how does it happen when you're by yourself that first time? How does that go?
It happens at various times during the night. Never once. He was as sick can be. I mean, the things that he had my brothers do, had me do, had my brothers do to me. This guy, like I said, the best fitting word I can fit for him is monster, because that's what he was.
Mm.
And Sylvia, when your kids come to you at 4 years old and tell you, look, this is what he's doing to me, what 4-year-old should even know the language?
No, I get that. Yeah.
And then 3 more times that I remember distinctly, with me and both my brothers, Doug and Jamie. You got to open your eyes at some point. And it took sibling 3 to be coming out and her walking in the door and seeing blood rushing down his thighs for her to realize something's going on.
Sandwich. That's his name. I had to change
Huh?
it. I had to change him to Sandwich.
Sandwich, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. He's
So
sandwiched
yeah.
between me and Mary, yeah.
Yeah. So he packs you guys up. You guys go fishing. Do you guys fish first, or does he rape you first? I mean, how does that work? That's
While one of us is out, like I said,
why not
gathering
the first time
minnows.
just you, right? That's what we're saying. The first time it happened, you said he took you on a fishing trip on your own.
Yes.
Okay,
And
that's what I want
that
to.
that happened before we started fishing.
And so he just brought you parked, and then
Yep.
do you remember how it went, or how did he go about, like, I it's just weird, like, so he brings you, he parks
Yeah.
at the spot, and then he just goes right into it, or
Yes. By that time there was no amenities, there was no, me thinking he's being nice. I knew what was going to happen.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I knew, because anytime he had me alone, it happened.
Now when he asks you to go fishing with just him, do you say, tell your mother, and hey, I don't want to go fishing with him, or how does that work? You're just
No, by that time, I had told her what happened when I was 4. My brothers and I had went to her a couple of times, or at least one time. She wasn't going to believe what was happening.
okay.
I mean, I found that out the hard. I even had a judge tell me I was a liar.
Mm.
They gave a 12-year-old kid a lie detector test after I'd been drinking coffee and smoking and was highly fearful. And I get in front of the judge, and the judge told me I was a liar.
And that was in regards to what? Why were what?
I started in the foster home system. And I ended up pregnant by Bill.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I ended up pregnant by Bill, and I had a miscarriage at home.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of Sylvia taking me to the doctor, she just flushed it.
Mm-hmm.
And but my thing is, you know, it's only going to take me once for my kid to come up and tell me things like this. We told her 4 different times. And it just, I can't believe that she was that ignorant.
Mm.
Nobody's that ignorant.
So the last thing I want to talk about today is
Mhm.
I got kind of like 2 chapters, and then I kind of want to wrap up the whole. I don't want to go wicked deep, but I think it's important to talk. A, it was important to talk about that car ride. B, it's
Oh,
important.
that car ride, I was sitting in the front seat and I knew what was going to happen, and I was terrified. But what are you going to do? Jump out of a running car?
Yeah. So I'm gonna cover that first. Obviously, the incident in the screen room, or the whatever you want to call it, like a
Backward, yeah.
screened in porch, whatever you want to call it. And then I'll talk about the fishing trips together.
Right.
But I'll.
I
Yeah.
felt so sorry for Diane and Jamie, and that's where I
Is
came up with the
Diane alive
title.
or dead?
Huh?
Diane alive or dead?
Diane's still alive.
Okay. Do you talk to her?
We're friends on Facebook. I mean, I can contact her and get her phone number and talk to her, but I'm not so sure she would want any part of this.
Yeah, that's what we need
Um,
to know. I mean, I need to know if I got to sign aliases or if she does. I mean, I don't know that anybody can find her just from this
oh,
account.
I can find her. She's one of my friends on
Yeah,
Facebook.
you could ask her. I mean, I don't have to name her. I can just call her stepsister. So that's what I'll do. We don't have to worry about that. Mary is the one we kind of really have to talk to. Because if she can make her thing available to my aunt, her DNA profile, we could find out a whole lot more. Like, you know how good my aunt is. So,
Yeah, I know. God forbid.
um, yeah. So, I mean, if that's a bridge you're willing to cross at some point, it doesn't have to be right now, but it would be something we could fill in, put in if it ever happens. But I'm trying to
Right.
keep her not as an integral part of the story. We've kind of already talked about what happened there. I kind of glanced over it, and but we do need to know if she has a problem with us using her first name, even though like we don't. Her last name isn't like something that just anybody can pick up. You know what I mean? Because she was adopted and all these other things. So like she's not like easily traceable, but I do want to be respectful to her too. I don't want to like.
Okay, I got a message back from Magnum.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I sent him. Tom Stratus said that the pictures will be there today. Can you sign on the front page of the original, please?
Right on the original, yeah.
Will do. I work the gathering here in Charlotte Thursday through Saturday, so I'm still recovering from that for a minute. Then I will get them signed and back out.
All right, cool. I'll talk to him tomorrow. All right. Okay, so the other thing, all right. Oh, the last thing I want to talk to you about. It was Jamie's the one who killed himself, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that incident where Bill made Jamie
Yep.
anally rape you in front of him, how does that happen? And how does he? I know obviously it happened because Jamie was afraid to not do what he told him to do because he'd get beat.
And I told him, I said, and I just looked at him, I said, do what you got to do. I said, don't let him beat you. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, and
where were you guys when that happened?
we were in Needles.
You
And
were in
we were in
Needles.
yeah, we were living across from the gas station. We hadn't made it to the motel yet. We were living across the street from the gas station that he worked at.
Mm-hmm.
So any time Sylvia left the house, he saw her leave.
Yeah.
And Jamie never got over that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He never got over that. And I kept, through the years, Tom, I have tried to talk to him and say, you had no choice. But he couldn't get past it.
So he became a heroin addict,
He became a crackhead.
crackhead.
He was on crack. Now he may have been doing heroin too,
No,
but I don't know.
crack. I know you mentioned it. So, you guys were in Needles. Where were you in the house, and where were your siblings when this is happening?
Well, Doug and Jamie were in the bedroom with me and Bill.
Okay, so Doug was there.
Yeah, Doug was there. It was all three of us.
What?
And
He was just watching, or?
yep. And when Jamie got done, then it was Bill's turn.
Okay, so they both.
And unfortunately, at that point in time, it wasn't anally, but I do remember the first time he raped me anally, like it was yesterday. And Sylvia was laying in the bed beside us.
1 minute, Maisie. I'm listening to Vicky. I'll be right done. Almost 5 minutes. Yep. I remember reading that in your book. So, was she drunk? How does she know? Oh yeah, no, she was taking those pills. You said,
She was taking Elavil,
Elavil. Yeah.
and he would always bring. And this is something that I pulled out of God knows where. He would always bring her a drink before she passed out.
Mm-hmm.
And it would not surprise me to find out that he didn't grind up the Elavil and put, more in her drink after she had taken what she was supposed to take, because she became addicted to Elavil.
So she was passed out, and he raped you in the bed while she was sleeping in it.
Yes.
And she didn't wake up.
She didn't wake up.
Okay.
Yeah, you got the same reaction I got. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I don't care how drunk or high I am. If I hear my child scream, I'm going to find out why.
Mm.
I mean, it may have been, I mean, I cannot figure how in my head that I could be this far, 6 inches from her face,
Mm-hmm.
screaming at the top of my lungs, because that was the second time I thought I was going to die. And she didn't wake up. To this day, I cannot figure that out.
So Jamie was Jamie Otis, correct? That was his name.
James Otis, yes, that
What's his middle name? Do you remember?
I think it was Patrick.
James Patrick Otis, after your uncle.
I think it was.
Okay. And what was his date of birth?
May 10th, 1962.
May 10th, 1962. And was he born in Goldendale, Washington, or was he born somewhere else?
He was born somewhere else, and I cannot tell you where. I was too young. I was a year old.
But he was born in Washington.
He was either born in Washington. I honestly can't say.
Okay. All right.
At this time, Sylvia, this was the first legitimate child she had with Lee.
Yeah.
And when they got divorced, I don't know.
I have that information. They get divorced. They were separated and living apart 1963, and they didn't dissolve their marriage until 1968. That 1968 was the same year that your Uncle Patrick dissolved his marriage from Carolyn McNitt, and then they both remarried in 1968. You were 7 years old.
It's a wonder I'm not my own mother.
Yeah. So, all right, the last thing I'm going to ask you just is to recount the story. I have it somewhere, but it'll be easier if it's all on this one interview. The story about Jamie and the car crash and the suicide there, and where, if you remember, where that occurred.
That occurred in, I believe, very close to Arbalise, Colorado, because that's where he was living with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And
Does he have children or no?
No.
Good.
None that I know of.
Then you are his next of kin, so I can use his name and his anything about him in the book.
Okay. He had been in prison for his 15th DUI. 15th.
Okay.
And he got out of prison, went into the halfway house, stayed sober and clean, and according to his wife, and I believe her first name is Cheryl, till the day he got out of the halfway house and off the probation, and he went straight back to doing crack.
Mm-hmm.
And he was out with, as she called him, and I don't blame her, one of his crack whores. And they were high as a kite, and he drove off the road, went down the mountain, and here's the tree, and here's the truck.
Mm-hmm.
And he's literally sitting there. The only thing that's not taking him down into the canyon is this tree. And from what I understand, I don't know the girl's name that he was with. She started moaning and bitching and all of that. And Jamie said, well, if you think this is bad, reached into his glove compartment, put the gun to his head, and literally blew his brains all over her shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And this was not long after our mother died of cancer, because Jennifer had decided neither Jamie nor I were allowed in her house, which is where my bio mother was residing. She was bedridden. They gave her suppositories that were cannabis, and the doctors and everybody told them, you don't need to move her, because if you move her, you're accelerating how quickly she's going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And Jamie, when I talked to him, my sister Jennifer had told him, you've got warrants in Washington State, and I will call the cops if you try to see your mother.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't 6 months later when he committed suicide.
Now, what did he have warrants for in Washington State? Do you know, or
DUIs?
DUIs? Those are all DUIs.
I mean, my God, you want to hear a country song? This boy got a DUI on a bicycle. He T-boned a car on a bicycle, drunk. That's not the good one. I got two more. He was in Arbalese, and they have these bars that have the old classic Western swinging doors.
Saloon doors, yeah.
And he rode through the front door on his horse, reached down in front of a guy, took his beer, and rode out the back door with the beer on his horse. Then he goes to court because, yes, you can get a DUI on a horse. You can get one on a lawnmower too.
Yes, I
Don't
know
ask
that.
me how I know that one. And he called me up from jail.
Wait, Vicky, you didn't get a DUI on a lawnmower.
Oh no, sir, no.
Okay, I thought you were hinting at that.
I made that mistake. I got one DUI in my life.
Yeah.
And from that day forward, one drink off of one beer. Once I had my son, I was staying where I was. I've told you that before.
Yeah.
But he calls me up, collect from prison, of course. And I go, "What's going on, boy? What you been arrested for now?" He said, "DUI on a horse." I said, "What?" He says, "Yeah, I got a DUI on a horse." And he explained what happened. He said, "But the biggest mistake I made is when I got in front of the judge." This is classic. And the judge gave me 30 days. And I said, "Hell, I can do that standing on my head." And the judge slammed his hammer down and said, 30 more days to get you on your feet, boy. He said he was never going to tell a judge he could do 30 days standing on his head again.
Yeah, I bet not.
Jamie was a mess.
And then you said you had one more good one.
Yeah, I told you those two. That was the one about him riding through the bar, and then the horse.
Oh,
With
that's getting in
Jamie,
front of the judge.
yeah, with Jamie, you never knew, but it was always going to be classic. I mean, he was just that type of guy. He didn't do anything normal. I mean, who the hell is going to stand in a courtroom and tell the judge, hell, I can do that standing on my head? Go play with your kids.
All right. Maisie, say bye to Vicky.
Bye.
Bye, Macy. How are you?
Good.
You getting ready to play with Daddy now?
Do you remember before I was working with Vicky, the wrestler I was working with, you remember his name? You don't remember? Who we used to work out with? You don't? The butcher? What's his name?
Tula the butcher.
Yeah, Tula the butcher. You hear that?
That's it.
Yeah, Tula the butcher.
Tula.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad.
Say it again, Maisie.
Tula the butcher.
All right, tell Daddy to get off the computer with me and go play with you.
Yeah, we're going to play. We're going. That's all. That was the last thing I needed. I'm going to send this to my Aunt Sue and see what she can dig up on Jamie.
Hey, Daddy.
Oh, God, I'm scared. There's no telling.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
Dad.
All right, you too. Have
All
fun
right.
with the kids.
Behave today. Right side of the sun. Okay. And I think Tina said she's signing up for DDPY. She wants to do a chair workout with you today. I'll double check that. But she's re-signing up. She wants to do one workout with you on Sundays.
Hey, Daddy.
She didn't say anything, but I'll find out.
Yeah.
All right.
She definitely is. She's been talking about it for 2 weeks. So.
All right. Go play with your kids.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Daddy.